Hello. Welcome to SimNet Raz Game 3. This is 2021 Topps Chrome Jumbo. As the team break, it was a ranked choice draft, which went actually pretty well, all things considered. It went all right. Just had a handful of teams spots that were randomed, and that went really well. We are going to be doing a random 2000 to 2009 season this evening, with the league champions each getting a Topps Chrome blaster that will be opened. We ripped, loaded, sleeved, loaded, and shipped on Monday. There will also be random prizes or league achievement awards for Allen and Ginter and Gypsy Queen blasters, which will be open. I have to remember that the Gypsy Queen is a giant pain in the butt to open. So this is the team list going into tonight and for the break tomorrow. The teams that you have here are the teams that you will have in the sim tonight. So that you won't have the players on that team, or you might have a couple or some, but as always, we do a fantasy draft ahead of time. Actually, not always, because the next game, game 4, probably won't have that. We'll talk about that another time. But tonight we'll be randoming everything. So Will Huffman has the Cardinals, which I'm sure makes him quite happy. Kevin Free has the Mariners. Chris Nice has the White Sox. Mark McDonald has the Atlanta Braves. Brogan has the Angels and Pirates. Kevin back up with the Yankees. RJ Dupree has Miami Marlins. This is RJ's first time. He's here by way of Nick Johnson, and thank you for that, Nick. Rich Cordero has the New York Mets, hometown team right there. The aforementioned Nick Johnson has the Baltimore Orioles. Chris back up with the Boston Red Sox. Devin Curtis, new to the community, and one of my students, has the Philadelphia Phillies. Jeff Walmer has the Padres. Scott Butler has the Dodgers. Scott Siebert, who is new to the community, he has Tampa Bay Rays. Chris Koch, Toronto Blue Jays. Kevin back up with the Reds. Nick there for the Rangers and Twins. Mikhail has the Tigers. Chris Koch back with the Brewers. Nick up with the Rockies. Mikhail comes back through with the Giants. Will gets, what is it, Missouri and surround sound, because he gets the Royals. Devin has a second team with the Cubbies. Ben Bishop showing up with the Nationals. Sam Williams, also new to the community. Both Sam and Scott come from Alaska this evening, or they're in Alaska. They're not coming from Alaska. Like, they're coming to the internet from Alaska. There we go. He has Oakland, which was very high up on his list. So awesome to get that at 27. Ben, there with Arizona, they were on his list fairly high, so that was good. And then Scott Butler gets the fighting trash cans with the Astros, and Rich ends with Cleveland, which there's some irony there, as Rich and I were talking about what game 4 will be, and Rich's two teams, when he thought I was talking about something else, wanted the Mets and Cleveland, and lo and behold, he gets both. So we're going to go through. I do have the random team distribution to the post. I will do that later. But let's get to the, if I can find it. Now I'm just going to make this go with the desktop for a second. And there's the list. And we're randomizing us 12 times, as 12 was what came up earlier. with the initial draft order. So here we go, 10 times. Hopefully it's sharing. I'm pretty sure it's sharing, but yeah, we'll find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know why I'm just counting out loud. All right. Hopefully this doesn't like click really quickly like it's done twice and go right to 13. That would irritate me. All right. We are playing out the 2002 season, which I believe that was a Yankee win. Who was that over? That's going to bother me. Who that wasn't over? I don't know who that was over. Huh. Which I should know that, but I can't think of off the top of my head because I know 2001 was Arizona over New York. I know 2003 was Miami over New York. 2004 was Boston. 2000 was the Yankees over the Mets. Who did they beat in 2002? That's going to bother me. No matter. Let's go ahead. Let's set up the game, shall we? So I'm in my perfect team league, my Down City Athletic Rays, winning the division in the Gold League, which makes me happy because last season, the seasons run a week each over the course of a week. And last week was the first time in like 9 or 10 seasons we hadn't made the playoffs. We got promoted to the Gold League. So, all right, we're going to go through. We're going to replay a historical game. We are not going to do challenge mode. We are leaving modern times. We are leaving modern times. We are getting into the power years. This is going to tell me what happened. Oh, that's right. It wasn't the Yankees. And this is so sad because I was living in California. Or no. I was living in California, but I had to go back to Pennsylvania for one more class that it turns out I didn't even need. So, but yeah, this was Angels and Giants. So this is Barry Bonds at his height. Oh yeah, this should be really good. This is Pedro right at the end of his height. Like that like, well, I guess it was 99, 2000, 2001 was really like his stretch. 2000, he was still good, 2002. All right, well, let's go ahead. Let's set this up. I don't really need to import the complete history, but I'm going to. I guess because there could be milestones and such. And so yeah, that's a possibility, I guess. Hopefully, because I was just overlaying something over the screen. Hopefully it's really just sharing the out of the park screen. I guess it is. That would be my hope. So man, 2002, like I am struggling to remember like who was part of that. I mean, the A's were something that was the big three of Zito, Tim Hudson, and oh, not Matt Morris. Was it? No. Oh my God. What, like where is my brain? Um, yeah, we are going to keep the minor leagues. We are going to keep that. I guess we'll require full. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. We can we don't need an expansion draft. We don't need that. We'll take the financial settings. We'll do 1 to 100. And make sure to hit that once a month and play in commissioner mode so that I can do the things. And we won't take any teams. And let's set the game up. So the game is getting fired up. I am looking forward to tomorrow night. Looking very forward to tomorrow night. It's you know, I'm waiting for this for what, a week or so now. Like I am very excited to finally get to open this stuff and then get it to all of you. Looking very forward to that. We have to do the checking of the team logos. I mean, that's always important. You want to have good, like the right team stuff here. If I remember, the Phillies were basically a dumpster fire within this this universe or this season. That's honestly pretty much all I remember. It was a year before the Cubs and Bartman. It was, had Clemens gone to Houston by that point? I have no idea. I really don't remember 2002. Honestly, like my ex and I, when we graduate, or well, when she graduated, I should have graduated, but that didn't happen for another semester. When we were done, we moved to Los Angeles and we did a rather lengthy cross country trip to Santa Monica. And I didn't really pay attention to sports for a lot of that summer because we were on our trip. I did go to a game it was called Pac Bell then, was Giants Padres. And we were second row behind home plate. It was pretty phenomenal. I did get an autograph by Bruce Bochy. I still have it, but it's faded. Let's go to game settings, league settings. We are going to schedule a fantasy draft. There we go. All right. Game is all scheduled. I'm just curious in the league actions. All right. Make sure there wasn't anything else I wanted to do while I was here. I think that's it. I believe that's everything. Yeah, I don't care about the financials that much. Okay. Let's go to the inaugural draft and we will randomize the draft order 12 times because that's just what needs to happen, you know? So 12 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So Rangers on top, Mariners on the bottom. Now remember, this isn't snake order. So just because the Rangers are going to end up with likely Barry Bonds, they then have the 60th pick. You do want to be, and I should make this bigger. There we go. I had to make it full size on my screen. So hopefully it's sharing. I think it's probably still sharing. Just to be safe. Yeah, it's still sharing. Okay. Okay. So our champions so far have come in the, you know, the middle picks. I believe it was 21st and 23rd, maybe 9th. It's somewhere in there. So we can get a quick look. Oh, there's Mark. We can get a quick look at the draft poll before we get this rolling. So Barry Bonds, Jim Edmonds, Pedro, they are at the oh, Mark just startled me. And I don't think he can hear me. There we go. Okay. So oh, technology at its finest, isn't it? Rob Nen, Chad Bradford, which I do remember him slightly. Francisco. I mean, there's a whole bunch of relievers there, but Nomar, this is 2 years before he was traded out. Boston, Giambi, I think it was like right before. He might have been in, oh yeah, he hadn't gone to New York yet. He had not gone to New York yet. A young Roy Halladay who was just about to tap into his powers. Brian Giles was pretty solid. Todd Helton, Trevor Hoffman, Randy Johnson, who was 38 but still moving, coming out of a World Championship year as well. Andrew Jones, right as he started his backslide into irrelevancy, unfortunately. Second year Pujols, I think. 2001 was his first year. Yeah. So, and 24-year-old Roy Oswalt, and 26-year-old A-Rod. So there is a lot of very interesting stuff to look forward to here. Let's go ahead. Let's play out the first round. So give me 1 second. Okay. So my just like I don't know if any time has changed in the recording. Probably not because I paused the recording, but I had one slip up. Hopefully just one. I'm pretty sure just one where my stupid brain and I thought this could happen, but I was not. I always make one mistake when I do these things. Always make one. No, I rarely make two, but always one. And I inadvertently um, gave the Atlanta Braves. I skipped over Chris Nice on the Atlanta Braves, where he had them on top of his list. It was an easy fix, as Mark McDonald's taking the White Sox, which is like that's a very solid team to have. So it's like not a not a tremendous issue, but still it's frustrating on my end because I always make one mistake, and there it was. And it's a shame that I know that about me, and it always happens no matter how hard I try. So, anyway, let's play out the first round here, and let's see where people went, shall we? All right. So let's go to draft log. I can't open this in a browser because it won't share because I'm not sharing the desktop. I'm sharing just the out of the park screen. So first round, Rangers take Pedro. The White Sox got Barry Bonds. Houston got Kurt Schilling. Jim Edmonds goes to Toronto. Roy Halladay to Cleveland. Alex Rodriguez to the Orioles. Randy Johnson to Detroit. Brian Giles to Florida. The Cubs got Roy Oswalt. And the 10th pick, Manny Ramirez goes to Atlanta. Other players, Albert Pujols goes to St. Louis. That's an interesting one. And Andrew Jones, who just couldn't hit anymore. He is he's in Colorado. That's an interesting one. Jim Thome in San Diego. That's rough because San Diego was very much a pitcher's park then. Nomar to Tampa, Clemens to Philly, Larry Walker in Pittsburgh. Montreal gets Mike Messina. That's an interesting one. Any players here that really kind of look out of place? See, Matt Morris. I'm pretty sure that's who I was thinking of with Tim Hudson and Barry Zito. Mike Sweeney kind of looks out of place, but he was really good at this time too. 304, 29 homers, 99 RBIs. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead. We're going to run the rest of the draft. We're just going to run it through, and then we'll look at some teams. We'll look at some teams, and we'll look at the top farm systems. There we go. All right. So Mark's in here. Let's go ahead and look at Chicago as Mark is here live with us. I think he's still here. I'm actually, yeah. All right. So the White Sox have Jose Macias, Troy Glass, Barry Bonds, Alfonso Soriano, who had not had his 40-40 year yet. Richie Sexton, Steve Cox, Juan Uribe, Javi Lopez, Shane Spencer. I do like the rotation with Barry Zito, Tom Glavine. Todd Ritchie was serviceable. It was fine. Jeff D'Amico, and I don't know who this guy is. This guy is not known to me. Mike Fieri? Fury, I guess. I don't know. Eric Gagne as the closer. This was, yeah. He was not the closer like that he was when he was on the roids yet, but he was really, really good. Scott Williamson was really solid at this time. Maybe he was a little removed from that 99 year where he was really solid. We can go ahead and go take a look at, I want to get to opening day, but I cannot see that. There we go. There we go. Let's go to opening day and we'll go to this is, oh, that's right. This is when the National League had 16 teams in it. That's right. All right, let's take a look at the preseason prediction, shall we? So, preseason predictions, Toronto projected to win the AL East at a cool 82-80. But the Red Sox, who are picked to finish last, are only 4 games back. The White Sox predicted to win the AL Central by just 1 game over Cleveland. We can go ahead and take a quick look at that Cleveland team. Ichiro, Doug Lanville, who's underrated, Cliff Floyd, Mark Bellhorn hitting cleanup, which is always kind of weird to me. Especially when he only hit 135 the year before, but I know he was good with Boston in 04. Mike Lowell, Brian Daubach, Ramon Santiago, Ben Petrick, and Ryan Ludwig with Roy Halladay atop the rotation. Jared Washburn, who was pretty solid in 2002, and Mariano Rivera in the closer spot. Yeah, it's a pretty tough team. All right, the best record here by standings is Colorado, who is projected to win 99 games. Take a look at them. For Call, Andrew Jones, Eric Chavez, Jake Gibbons hitting 4th. This is 2nd year Jay Gibbons. I don't know about that. Paul LaDuca. What was Paul LaDuca doing at this time? He was just coming off his first really good year. Okay. Bobby Higginson. Haven't seen that name in a while. Mark Mulder. Mark Mulder was the guy I was thinking about. It wasn't Matt Morris. Matt Morris was with St. Louis. It was Mark Mulder. Mark Mulder, Tim Hudson, Barry Zito. That's who it was. Okay. Trey Percival in the bullpen. I don't know if this team is 99 wins worth. Not so sure about that. But Mets and Phillies projected to tie. Pirates projected to win the Central. But the Dodgers are projected to have 88 wins and like be maybe the second best team in the league. They got Giambi, Aaron Boone, who was at, kind of the height of his powers. Jason Schmidt, Corey Little, who was pretty decent at this time, I think. Denny Nagel, Trevor Hoffman in the pen. Yeah, okay, this is not bad. And let's take a look at the minor league system rankings. So the Brewers have the top system, followed by Baltimore, who's got Mark Pryor. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Victor Martinez is with Milwaukee. He's in AAA here. We'll look at the players in the systems in a moment. But Dodgers are third with Travis Hafner, Mark Ellis with Colorado, John Lackey with the Mets, Omar Infante. Is that Rafael Soriano? Yes, it is. And then Rangers and the Diamondbacks are kind of bringing up the bottom here. We can go to the prospect pipeline. Let's see. So Mark Pryor is the top prospect in baseball. He is projected to, he's going to start the year in Baltimore. And then Victor Martinez and Travis Hafner will probably get up to the show at some point this year. Lackey, Austin Kearns are starting in the bigs. Jake Peavy starting in the bigs with Milwaukee. Hank Blaylock starting in the bigs with Milwaukee. Orlando Hudson, Bill Hall are all in AAA. So is Jason Worth. You got to remember, Jason Worth was a catcher. I mean, he wasn't a left fielder. Like, he was a catcher. He converted to outfield later when he wasn't making it. Carl Crawford is in AAA. Aaron Harang is there. Soriano. Like, there's a lot of players who are in AAA who look like they could potentially help at the big league level. So there's going to be a lot of minor league intrigue this year. Francisco Rodriguez, K-Rod, is in AA. He could see time coming up. Yeah, this is pretty nice. Now, if memory serves, there's only one player. No, two, because there's Pujols. I don't think Yadier Molina, he didn't start till 2004. But the only other player who was in the league at this time is Oliver Perez. I believe this would be Oliver Perez's rookie season. Not that I really need to go searching for him. From the Chicago area? Why? Oh, because it's with the White Sox. Duh. Okay. I guess that would be a thing, right? Find a player. MLB player list. I don't know. All players. Let's go to relievers. Or I guess all relievers. And let's see if Perez is here. And then we're going to play. I don't want to spend too much time on Oliver Perez, you know. He's not in this, but he came up, right? So if we include minor leaguers, oh boy. No, Oliver Perez. Interesting. Wonder where he is. Was he a starter? He might have been a starter, actually. Yep, there he is. He was a starter in AAA to start the year. Oh, look at him, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at 20. Oh, that's... What is it? MAAA. Oh, Midwest AAA. That's what they call it now. Okay. All right, let's get this show on the road. Let's go a month, shall we? We're starting March 31st. I'll probably have to do this twice. We'll find out. probably have to do this twice. Yep, had to do this twice. That's moving fairly quickly. I don't have, I know where to get the injury report and all that stuff now. Like I refreshed my memory. The Pirates off to a 19-5 start. Holy cow. So the Padres right out of the gate, 19-6. Angels at 17-9. The White Sox at 20-7. 5 games up of Cleveland. Red Sox off to a solid start. Reds, Blue Jays, Royals, Phillies. The Phillies were projected to win what, like 88 games, and they're 7-20. What's the deal here, Phillies? Why are you disappointing again? Are there injuries? I can do it up on the screen. Current injuries. So Cliff Pollitt, good Lord. Out 3-4 weeks. Todd Walker's out for 2 weeks. I feel like Todd Walker's still in the league. Brandon Puffer out for 10 months. It's not good news. John Smoltz is, well, he's only out for 3 days. Darrell Ward's out for 2 to 3 months. Arthur Rhodes out for 4 months. I skipped Steve Perez. I know. Rick Reed's out for 7 months. Yeah. He probably would have been somebody they would have used. Jermaine Dye's out for, well, just a couple days. Jeff Conine out for 4 to 5 weeks. Although Conine was on the backslide of his career there. Jeremy Affeldt out for 5 months. Yeah, that's a rough go. Edgar Martinez out for 4 weeks. Ted Lilly out for the season. Lilly was off to a pretty good start in St. Louis. Jason Varitek only out for a couple days. Scott Strickland out for 12 months. Tony Armas out for 9 months. The Armas trade is what brought Pedro to Boston, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's what did it. So he's out for the year. Wendell McGee leading the league and hitting at 457. I remember that name. Yeah. Home runs, Marty Cordova with 9 in LA. It's interesting. Carlos Delgado, Brad Fulmer, Rafi Palmeiro, Alex Rodriguez, all with 9 in the month. Manny with a 1.295 OPS. It wasn't like the last sim where Trout and Yelich went nuts and then Mookie closed going crazy to end the season. Manny Ramirez with 30 RBIs. Where's the WAR? 2.2 WAR for Brad Fulmer. Barry Bonds at 1.9 WAR. I guess you'd get 2.2 WAR if you hit 420 with an 810 slugging percentage, 9 homers, and 23 RBIs. You probably would do that. Bonds hitting 385 and 20. Jimmy Rollins. There he is. There's my guy. He's in Kansas City, which, okay. He's hitting 257. Pedro with a 0.41 ERA, 5-0 in the month. Finished with 2.9 WAR. Holy cow. I mean, just looking at him, ground ball pitcher with those ratings, 28 hits in 44 innings, 66 strikeouts, 0.79 whip. Pitched a 3-hitter over 8 innings. In fact, he hasn't given up a run in any of his last 3 outings. Good Lord. Pedro's amazing. He's also striking out 13.4 per 9 innings, which is well ahead of Matt Clement and Roger Clemens. Other pitchers having a good month include Jared Weaver, who's got a 2.13 ERA and went 6-0 for Atlanta. Randy Johnson, David Wells, and the aforementioned Oliver Perez. Oh, that's Odalis Perez. Oh, Oh, such a tease. Odalis Perez. Still, it was a good one. Oh, this guy whose name I couldn't pronounce. He's got a .73 whip, which is above Pedro's. He went 2-0 in the month with a .94 ERA. Pretty solid. Pretty solid stuff for that guy. All right, let's move forward, shall we? Let's get May. See if some teams come back to earth a little bit. The White Sox are they're stretching their lead. Anaheim's this is the month of Anaheim. Go look at those standings. Anaheim at 34-19. They are effectively tied with Chicago for the best record in baseball. 8 games up on the A's, who don't have a winning record. White Sox are 4 games up on Minnesota, who really came alive last season in game 2 after May 1st. Remember Detroit, which is running away with things in 2018, and then out of nowhere came Minnesota and had the best record in baseball going forward. And I spoke too soon on who has the actual best record. The best record is Colorado at 37-19. Mariners and Royals share the league's worst record right now, 19-34. Take a look at the injuries, current injuries impacting anybody at the moment. Anything new that sticks out? Jack Wilson out 5 weeks. John Burkett, well, it's just day to day. All right. Where was that? What was that? 9 month. Carlos Almanzar. He's out 9 months. Kenny Lofton's out a couple weeks. Chan Ho Park out for 2 months, which that's got to hurt a Royals team that really needs him. David Ortiz. This is pre-Boston David Ortiz. This is the David Ortiz that was basically like left for what? Career death? I mean, I guess that's what it would be. Matt Clement out for 2 weeks. Fernando Tatis Sr. is out for 2 more days. Zach Day out for 2 weeks. Phillies have more injuries piling up here. Kelly Wunsch out for 3 to 4 weeks. Sato Yoshi out. Chris Carpenter out for 9 months. Now, this is before Chris Carpenter became like the Chris Carpenter. Like, he was not, both he and Halladay like really became something. Although I don't think Carpenter did it with Toronto. I think he left and did it in St. Louis. Okay, so that looks like it's it for injuries. Let's go to stats. Let's see who's piling them up. We can also look at any trades that have happened. David Justice now leading the league in hitting at 381, followed by Brian Giles. Pat Burrell at 370. Ivan Rodriguez at 367, and there's Barry Bonds. A-Rod leading the league in homers, just ahead of Jim Thome, Rafi Palmeiro, Manny Ramirez, Carlos Delgado. We can look at sortable stats for that. Bonds has a 543 on base. Good Lord. He scored 50 runs, and it's June what? 3rd? It's June 4th today. No, it's June 1st. Why does it say today? Oh, because those are the days to come. Okay. Oh, okay. Mitro's got 77 hits. Barry Bonds is a 225 OPS plus. That's sick. I mean, Brian Giles is doing a pretty good job too. Giles hitting 375 with a 719 slugging percentage of on base of 502. Let's go to the sortable stats. Let's go take a look at, I don't want that. So let's look at the WAR leaders here. So Giles has 4.3 WAR. He leads the majors in offensive WAR or in batter WAR. Bonds at 4.0. Jim Thome, 3.6. He's got 18 homers, 43 RBIs going with 346 mark, and OPS of 1.163. Others that really stick. I mean, Andrew Jones, he's hitting 327, 9 homers, and 35 RBIs. That's pretty solid. John Olerud having a good season. Carlos Delgado, A-Rod. There's Pat Burrell. Is he tired? He's not hurt, is he? No, he's just tired. There's Justice this season. Where's Wendell McGee? Like, he was leading the league and all sorts of stuff that first month. How many? Oh, there he is. He's still hitting 351. Who is he with? He's with Minnesota. But everything else is kind of cratered for him. Okay. Let's go to the pitching leaders. We got Pedro at 1.12. We'll go to the sortables for this as well. We'll take a look at wins leaders. Oh, because I have all batters. Duh. I'll do all players. Jeff Weaver's at 10-0. 1.73 ERA. Who's he with right now? Who's he? Atlanta. Okay. Yeah, this is Jeff Weaver, not Jared Weaver. Jared Weaver was, I guess he wasn't up. I thought he was a rookie in 02 with the Angels. Fairly positive that's the case. He's got a 1.06 whip, this Jeff Weaver. There's Holiday at 8-4. Matt Clement 9-3, though he's currently he's out for 2 weeks. Dallas Perez at 8-3. Todd Ritchie at 8-0. That's looking really, at least I said Todd Ritchie was good, though. I would think, like, look at Todd Ritchie's FIP. So Todd Ritchie's 8-0 with a FIP of 5.33. That's unbelievable. He's got a whip of 1.20. He's given up 78 hits in 82 2/3. He's given up 16 homers, which is why you'd have a FIP of 5.33. But he's 8-0. That's ridiculous. And of course, there's Pedro doing Pedro things. So, all right, his FIP is 1.61. That's so gross. That's so gross. Wait, Rusty Greer pitched in a game? We're gonna circle back to that. I'm really curious. So Pedro's whip, or not whip, FIP is 1.61. Eric Gagne's ahead of him at 1.28 with a 1.52 ERA. Randy Choate has a whip of, or a FIP of 1.24. Anybody else? I mean, Trevor Hoffman has a FIP of 0.92, an ERA of 0.89. That's pretty solid. Let's go. I want to go back to this. Rusty Greer pitched in a game. He pitched 2/3 of an inning. He walked 2 guys, gave up 2 runs with a whip of 3.0. I don't see anybody else, though. I guess I can look at all batters. No, I don't want the batting stats this time. So Brent Butler and Ronnie Belliard pitched. Actually, Brent Butler did well, has a clean sheet. Not bad. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's play out June. Mets lead by, or no, they did lead by a game. Florida's up now. Yankees, Orioles, and Red Sox are all in a tough fight, along with the Blue Jays. They're only 5.5 back. Let's go ahead and circle back to those standings. Mikhail's here. Hello, Mikhail. So White Sox up by 2.5 on Cleveland, Minnesota, sort of hanging out 4.5 back. The Angels are running away with it in the AL West. They're 13 up on Oakland. The Angels led by Vladdy Sr. Ron Gant is doing late stage Ron Gant things. Herbert Perry, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. And this is like breakout Herbert Perry. 298, 17 homers, 50 RBIs. Melvin Mora was doing all right. Vernon Wells, this is young Vernon Wells, right? 23, yeah. This has to be very young Jeff Jenkins. It is. Although he's a couple years removed from really good plays, not playing well this season. Perez there leading the rotation. Billy Wagner in the bullpen and Brandon Donnelly as the setup guy. Yeah, that would get the job done. Luis Vizcaino, Ricardo Rincon. There's Cliff Pollitt. I don't know. Rockies still with the best record in baseball. They're up by 12 on the Giants, 13 on the Padres. Pirates lead has shrunk to a game. Phillies look like they're trying to become respectable. Climbing back into it somewhat. They're 11 out. Everybody else is within 4.5 here. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at some injuries. Current injuries. Anything? Edgardo Alfonso out for 2 weeks. Daryl Ward close to coming back. For Cal. Wow, that's a big one. Rafael Furcal goes down. He was our leadoff hitter. He got injured on June 23rd, a torn ACL. He's out for 8 months. He was hitting .365 with 25 steals. And he was on pace for 18 triples. Wow. I wonder how the Rockies are going to get around that. Let's see. Cesar Crespo out for 3 weeks. Other big injuries. Chano Park still out for 4 weeks. Clemens out for 8 weeks. I mean, the Phillies aren't doing anything. I'm wondering if he'll be a trade candidate. Jake Westbrook out 13 to 14 months with a torn rotator cuff. Bobby Jones out 3 to 4 weeks. Rangers losing Jose Vizcaino for a couple of weeks fine. All right. Yeah, that, and now seeing that Rafael Furcal is leading the majors in hitting, that is a big blow to Colorado. That's a really tough one to take. Meanwhile, Barry Bonds is on base has gone up to 533, which is just so. He's really good. He's got 92 walks. 92 walks as of July 1st. This is a mark of a good sim, by the way, good historical sim. Jeff Cirillo leading the league in sacrifices. He was kind of known for that. So it's pretty cool to see he's doing it here. Dave Roberts has 10 triples. Barry Bonds is a 499 WOBA. That's pretty solid. Where's the WAR again? I always lose track. Oh, there it is. Brian Giles still leads Bonds in WAR at 6.3. Giles hitting 361, 20 homers, 73 runs batted in. Jim Thome leading the majors with 30 home runs. And Alfonso Soriano, see, I told you, there he comes. He's in 300, 22 homers, 74 runs batted in, leading the majors in RBIs. Here has Jeff Weaver. Yeah, he lost 2 games. Last sim, it was Aaron Nola who was undefeated for a very long time. Here was Jeff Weaver. Pedro had a rough month, went from 1.12 to 1.84. Ben Sheets climbing into the ERA race. Pedro's still got a whip under 1. John Halama. That's a name I haven't said in a while, and I'm surprised I got it correct. He's got a whip of 1.01. Your war leaders, Pedro, then Kurt Schilling, then Randy Martinez, then not Oliver Perez, Odalis Perez, and Jeff Weaver, Keith Falk, Trey Percival leading the way in saves. Who's the strikeout leaders? Where are they? Where are the strikeouts? There they are. Kurt Schilling, 157. Randy, 156. Yeah, Kerry Wood's there, 127. All right. There's something I wanted to check before we continued. I guess. Yeah, this. Let's see. So Pryor's 6-6 with a 4.39 ERA. Orlando Hudson's up. He's doing pretty well. He's got a WAR of 2.0. Cliff Lee's made it to AAA, though. Don't expect him to get there this year. John Lackey up in the show. He's 7-4. A WAR of 1.0. Austin Kearns with a 3.4 WAR, hitting 309 homers, a 140 WRC plus. Other guys who are really sticking out here: Soriano, 1.7 WAR. That's in AAA for Carl Crawford, though he's tearing it up. Omar Infante's tearing it up down there. Let's see. Anybody? Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize you could do that. Oh, if you want top 20, what is, oh, it just looks like that, huh? Okay. Oh, there's a top 200. That's just a lot. That's just a lot. That's just too much. That's too many prospects. All right. Let's go next month. All-star teams will be getting announced. We have been giving away prizes due to All-Star awards in each of the first 2 games. Probably going to happen in the 3rd game. Let's see. Colorado's still running away. We're going to start to look at trades, although Florida, if I saw that correctly, Florida's taken over for top record in baseball. They do. They have the top record in baseball. It's 67-41. We check in on Florida. That's not Miami. They're still Florida in 2002. Brian Lawrence having a good year. Really, that whole rotation is doing pretty solid. And Scott Stewart, who was an excellent closer at that time. I mean, of course, Brian Giles, having a MVP type year on the heels of a couple of really good seasons in Pittsburgh. He was a very underrated star at that time. And Rafi Palmeiro, this is aged Rafi Palmeiro. Was he like 36, 37? So 264, 26, and 90 is really, really good. Tim Salmon's there. Craig Counsell. Not a bad squad here. What was this? Counsell? Oh, yeah, that's right. He was in Arizona. Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Take a look at injuries. Mark Hendrickson out 8 weeks. Anything really sticking out here? Jason Jennings out. Darren Dreifert out for a couple months for Kansas City. Which again, they really can't afford that. Canerco has blurred vision. Chad Bradford, who was looked at as like one of the top players in the league, though he's not really showing it. He's out for the rest of the season. Clemens still out 3 to 4 weeks for Philly. Larry Walker's out 2 weeks for Pittsburgh. Diagnosis pending on John Lieber. That's a tough one. He was he's 2 years, or he's a year removed from winning 20 games. He actually was in AAA this year. Maybe a rehab start. That might have been what that was. Okay. Not anything tremendously terrible. Let's take a look. See if there's been, although, yeah, we have to look at trades because It's August 1st. And there might not have been that many. Oh, where am I at here? August 2002, July. So Oakland traded Torrey Hunter to San Francisco for Ty Wigginton. That's like prime Torrey Hunter going to San Francisco. He's only hitting 200 here, though. I think I didn't realize. Oh, he's in. Oh, yeah. He was in Oakland. He was hitting 242 with Oakland. I'm an idiot. He's only hitting 200. He's only played a game. So not much in the way of trades, though. That's kind of how I prefer it for this sort of thing. Braves traded Bobby Say, Bobby Say. Getting Matt Franco. Yeah, not much here in the way of injuries. That's quite all right. Paul Bird signed a 6-year contract extension with Cleveland for $23 million. Paul Bird was okay. Like, it wasn't great, but he was fine. All right, month of August. Here we go. Chicago still holds a lead, though. Everybody in the Central is like right there, except for Kansas City. I think this is the second game in a row. We have a dogfight. Oh, there's Frank Thomas in Baltimore. He's only hitting 241 is the big hurt, which is that's unfortunate. I mean, he's 34 here. But this is the second game in a row where we have a dogfight with the White Sox or the Red Sox and the Yankees. The Blue Jays, though, have kind of come out of nowhere. I thought the Orioles were in that race for a while, but they have fallen back. And I told you, the White Sox did this last time. They raced out to a big lead. Cleveland has caught them. There's a tie. Detroit and Minnesota are 2 back. Yeah, one thing with the wild card, we have not had too many like division races. We've got division races right now. We don't in the West, either West, although that lead has come down. Who have the Rockies replaced Rafael Furcal with? They replaced him with Adam Everett, which is not going so well. He's hitting 137. Yeah, it's not working out too well. And you lose the defense with Furcal. Like, that's a big blow. The Dodgers are 7.5 back, but I wouldn't be shocked if they start making a run. The Rockies have lost 5 in a row. Reds are up by 3.5 on Pittsburgh and Houston and Milwaukee. I like it. And here, Marlins best record in baseball, 7 up on the Braves. Nobody else really contending there. You look at the wild card. Remember, only one team gets a wild card here. It's not the 2 wild card system. It's only one. Right now, it's the Braves in the National League up 2.5 on the Stros and the Pirates and the Brewers, and the White Sox and Cleveland tied 2 up on Detroit and Minnesota, 3 up on Toronto and New York, 3.5 up on Boston. Oh, I love it. I love it. All right. Let's go week by week here. I should probably start picking this up, I just get so much I get so into this. Like, it's just too much fun for me to let these play out, I didn't look at injury. Oh, did I look at injuries? I don't remember. I didn't look at stats either, did I? Let's do that quickly. Just breeze through. Preston Wilson out 3 weeks now. Troy Gloss out for 4 weeks with a fractured hand, hitting 216 or 261 with only 16 homers, 55 RBIs, coming off a 41 homer year. Clearly has not gone the way he wants this season. Let's see, anything else? Tim Wakefield out for Detroit. That's going to hurt Detroit. Wakefield, he's 10-4 with a 4.17 ERA. Julian Tavares, he's only out a day. Never mind. Matt Lawton out for Florida. He hasn't really been doing much, though. Other teams, Antonio Suna. Oh, he's still out. Never mind. Paul Konerko out day to day for the Expos. Dave Roberts out 1 to 2 weeks. There's really not. John Lackey's out 5 months. Miguel Bautista's out 5 months. Wow, I feel like these all like hit. You know, Jeremy Burnett's out for a couple weeks. Dave Malicki out for San Francisco. Over a year, he's done for this season. Randy Wolf done for this season. Daryl Kyle, God rest his soul, out for 2 more weeks. Take a quick look at statistics. See who's doing what. Bonds has 48 homers. Seems like it's going to be a pretty tame year in terms of like homers and stuff, though. Though, how many at-bats does he officially have? 421. He's got a WAR of 11.9, 48 homers, 111 RBIs, 160 walks, and only 42 strikeouts. Good Lord. That's like, I don't really like the video game stats era. I mean, yeah, because of the roids, but it just like, it seemed like things got like way out of control. And, you know, Bonds, oh my God, is he good? Alex Sanchez, oh God, that name brings back bad memories. Ugh, there was a guy back in the day who would defend Alex Sanchez, who was not good. He was not good. And he would defend him to the ends of the earth. I mean, he's doing well in this sim, but he was not good overall in real life. Dave Roberts leading the league, 56 steals. The WAR situation, Bonds firmly leads that. He's up 2.0 WAR over Brian Giles. Giles having a good year, 357, 31, 115, but he has cooled off. Although he's leading the National League in hitting, so cooled off. He's cooled off like power-wise and stuff. Mike Sweeney, was it Mark? No, it's Mike. I said he was the one who looked kind of out of place in the first round. In the fantasy draft, well, he's hitting 354 with 31 homers and 98 RBIs. Jose Hernandez has 202 strikeouts as a hitter. I don't know this guy. He's got 20. Oh, maybe I do. He's got 21 homers. He's hitting 264. How do you hit 264 with 21 homers in 556 at-bats if you struck out 212 times? How does that even happen? Like, that's a modern day marvel. I really don't understand how he's able to pull that off. Pitching leaders, Pedro, Roy Halladay there with a 20-win season. Matt Clement, Jeff Weaver knocking on the door. Jose Jimenez, 39 saves. Pedro with a 9.6 WAR, having what will likely be a Cy Young season for him. Kurt Schilling on the other end. I don't think he's not going to be Cy Young worthy in the National League. He's 12 and 14, but he's leading the league in strikeouts. What else? And he's also like, that's a hard luck pitcher. Seriously, he's second in the league in pitching WAR. He's second in the league in WHIP. His WHIP is 1.02. Teams are hitting, they got a 303 BABIP, but they're not hitting well against him. And he's 12 and 14. You know, he lost here 4-3. He lost to the Dodgers, twice to the Dodgers. He's lost 3-1. He lost this game 2-0. He's like a Jacob deGrom for a former generation. Because those numbers are legit, especially in this environment. And yet he's 12 and 14. Randy Johnson, they're 10.7 K per 9. Seeing they're Schilling, tied for second with Kerry Wood. What's Kerry Wood doing? 12 and 12 with a 4.09 ERA. Other whips that are looking good. I mean, Clement. Yeah. I wonder if I don't think Matt Clement can win the Cy Young because of Pedro, but he's definitely deserving. And there's Holiday with the 20 wins, 20 and 10, with an ERA of 3.39. But that overall, that's not Cy Young material. Like, I feel like if you put Schilling on this team, he'd have like 25 wins on Cleveland. Like, if you gave him the same decisions that Roy Halladay was getting. All right, let's keep going. Next week, let's get into the middle of September. Tampa Bay out of the playoffs as teams are starting to get eliminated. They're out. The Phillies are out. The Expos are out. Would have been the Nationals. We know that. Royals, wow. Angels have already clinched because the rest of the AL West, not good. Magic numbers: 4 for the Rockies, 7 for the Marlins. Everything else going to go down to the wire. Here, the Orioles just fell off the face of the earth. Like, I swear to God, they were in the race and then nothing. Yankees are 4 back. It's looking more like the Blue Jays and Red Sox, but again, not over. Meanwhile, the Tigers were not part of this for most of this season. And now here they are. Here they are with their David Eckstein and Jacques Jones and Eli Marrero, Doug Mankiewicz. How Jared Sandberg, he played for Tampa, hitting 198 with 13 homers, 50 RBIs. Of course, there's Randy Johnson. There is early stage Johan Santana, 23 years old here. Sidney Ponson, the couple years. I guess maybe this is when he was coming to his own. And then there's Jose Jimenez or is it Jimenez? Honestly, I'm not sure. But you see here, the Tigers are first in runs against, their first in starters ERA. They're third in FIP. They're first in defensive efficiency and zone rating. They are making use of that staff and that defense. All right. And they find themselves a half game up. Rockies still up 9 on the Padres. That's pretty much academic at this point. The Reds are only up a game on the Pirates and Brewers and 2 up on the Cardinals, 3.5 on Astros. That's a great race. Braves trying to make something of it with the Marlins. It's probably too late, but the Braves do lead the wild card. Mets all but out of it. And Expos and Phillies are definitely out of it. All right, we get to September 23rd. I might start hiding scores as we get in the last week, because we have what? There's 6 games left, by and large, 6-7 games left. So we have a week. Who do these teams play? Toronto gets Baltimore and Detroit. Yankees get Tampa and Baltimore, and the Red Sox get Baltimore, Chicago, and Tampa. And in the Central, Cleveland leads now. And that's great because they're 3 at the Twinkie Dome. Detroit has the Royals and Blue Jays. The White Sox have the Red Sox and Twins. That's a tough sledding. The Twins have Cleveland and Chicago. We look over here, the Central. Yeah, as the Marlins have clinched, they're up 10 now on Atlanta, but Atlanta probably still leads the wild card. Or they're tied. They might be tied with Pittsburgh because, they are tied with Pittsburgh, but I don't think anybody's above them. The Reds have the Cubs and Expos. The Cubs, the one team not in it in the Central, and the Expos are not in it in the NL East. Pirates have the Mets and Cubs. Brewers have the Astros and Cardinals. And then the Cardinals, Diamondbacks, and Brewers. So Rockies have clinched. Here's the wild card. There's a three-way tie. Braves, Pirates, Padres. Brewers are a half game back. Mets are a game back. Cardinals a game and a half. I wonder if this will play out like game 2, where we had two different one game eliminations, one game playoffs. Where was this here? Oh, Tigers are up by game on Chicago, 4 up on Minnesota, and that's probably going to be where the wild card comes. It's probably not going to come from down here. All right. I don't know if I want to play the full. We'll do this. We'll finish the day. We'll go to scores for now. And we'll finish the day and we'll see what's going on. I guess I should go to standings and just sort of kind of get a lay for what's going on. So the Blue Jays have clinched the East. The two divisions that are up for grabs are both the Centrals, though the Reds have a little breathing room. Cleveland has no breathing room, and the wild cards still need to be decided. So, okay. Show the leaderboards as well. Bonds, holy cow. He was at 48 at the beginning of this month. He's now at 59. Is that right? Like, look at the split. September. Sweet Jesus. He's hitting 449 with 17 homers and 31 RBIs in September. His on base is 546, which doesn't best the 613 it was in July, but he's definitely make up for the slumping he had in August. Really only at 10 homers with an OPS of 1.181. Oh my God. And he's 38 here. That is filthy. Let's see. What is that? That's 158, 158, 158. So there's 4 games left for seemingly everybody. Here we're tied again. The Central, White Sox 2 back. Twins are eliminated from anything. They're eliminated from everything. The wild card's going to come out of the Central. Here we still have 7 teams in for the wild card, and the Reds, if they win and the Pirates and Cardinals lose, they'll win the division. If there are ties on the final day, I will go ahead and I'll do the highlights and we'll see what happens. Like right now, Cleveland, Detroit tied. Reds have clinched the division. So division leader or division winners are set here. We're still playing for the wild card, where the Braves are up by a game. Cleveland, Detroit are tied. Chicago, who looks so promising to start the year, they have to win out or their season is over. We're going to go down to the next to last day here. And it's a shame because Bonds is having, I mean, he's going to win the Triple Crown. Bonds is going to win the, probably. He's probably going to win the Triple Crown. I can't say guaranteed yet. I don't want to do that. We'll do this. Okay. Well, all right. It's settled in the National or in the American League. Cleveland and Detroit are going to the playoffs. It just, who's going to what? Not sure yet. Here we still have the Braves, Pirates, and Padres with a game to go. Let's go to scores. I guess we can go ahead. We'll hide the scores. We'll finish the day and we'll see what happened here. Well, where did it go? I guess this is the last day, right? So it was White Sox and Tigers. No. It's Cleveland and Detroit. And then here it was Braves, Pirates, and Padres. So I guess if the Braves won, they were in, right? Let's take a look. Oh, it couldn't be. Oh, you got to be kidding me. That's my fault. I'm gonna see if I can get that in now. I'm irritated about that. Replays for human teams, replays pitch by pitch mode. No, generate highlights for all major leagues. 3D movements for all major leagues. Okay, we'll just do all leagues. Okay. Done. Yeah, this is like the one thing I overlooked. So hopefully we get this for the playoffs. All right. I wonder how many of you are still watching this thing. I got 3. What do I have? Still got Mark and McHale. Okay. Maybe it's playing in the background for you. I'm just going to go the standings, and I can do highlights in the playoffs. That's fine. So Cleveland won and Atlanta won, which, okay. I guess that was to be expected. I guess this isn't, is this? Yeah, it's over. I guess I was expecting to see eliminations there, but yeah, playoffs are set. Playoffs are set. We can look at the playoff coverage. We can, the playoff tree. So Detroit's going to play Cleveland, though I thought this was a thing where you could not play the division champion if they were in your division. Like I thought I thought Detroit could not play Cleveland. Maybe that rule had changed by 2002, but that was the case before 2002 at some point. Anaheim, Toronto, Braves, Marlins, and Reds, Rockies. Those are your playoff teams. So I should have scores. I'll just keep it like I have it. And all right, so we have Angels, Tigers, or Angels, Blue Jays, Tigers, Cleveland. I'm gonna I'm just gonna play the days, and then we'll see if any series go to 5 or go to game 5. If they do, I will hopefully highlights show up for that. So right now, Blue Jays up 2-0, Tigers, Cleveland tied at a game apiece. Braves, Marlins tied, Reds on the Rockies right now, 2-0. I don't know that the Rockies really recovered from losing Rafael Furcal. I'm just not sure they really ever did. I mean, that's a really, like, that really turned things in the National League. So here, Blue Jays are up 2-1. Cleveland's up 2-1. Atlanta, Florida tied, and Cincinnati looking to close out the Rockies. They do that. The Reds sweep the Rockies. So that's unfortunate. The Blue Jays move on, taking out the Angels 3-1, and Cleveland takes out Detroit. So we have an ALCS set. We are waiting to see if the Marlins, who were the league's best team pretty much all year, take out the Braves, or if we're going to game 5. Nope. No drama in the ALDS. We are set with our league championship series. Let's take a quick look and see if these teams have any injuries. So we're looking at Cleveland, Toronto, Florida, and Cincinnati. We're looking at those teams. So Cleveland, then Petrick and Brandon Puffer, which they've had all year. Cincinnati has nothing. Toronto and Cleveland. Toronto's got Randy Wolf still out for 3 months. Benito Santiago, how he was in the league at this time? Really? Huh. Who was the other team? It was Cincinnati and Florida. Florida has Rafael Palmeiro is out for 4 days. That could be costly. Yeah, if it takes out a couple of games here, actually it might. I don't know if he'll play. I guess we'll find that out. So game 1 here, ALCS, Toronto wins 3-1 over Cleveland. NLCS, Florida wins game 1. Did Palmeiro play? Where is he? He did. He did play. Went 0 for 4. Meanwhile, Cleveland, Toronto are tied 1-1. As we look here to see Cincinnati gets one back. So tied at 1 here. Will be Cleveland picking up a win. They're at home, right? No, they're in Toronto. They got to win in Toronto. While Cincinnati takes a 2-1 lead. The ALCS goes back tied 2-2 as Toronto thumps Cleveland 11-2. And they should be on a travel day. This should be all by their lonesome. The Reds are 1 game away from the World Series. They're 1 game away from sending, let's see. Who is it? Because I don't remember. From sending Kevin Free to the World Series and a Topps Chrome Blaster. Meanwhile, Toronto is up 3-2. And they're 1 game away from sending Chris Koch to the World Series and a Topps Chrome Blaster. And Cleveland is, where are they? Oh, that's Rich. And Florida. Where's Florida? Oh, because I have Miami. That's right. Miami is RJ. So RJ's on the ropes. Rich is on the ropes. Let's see. Can Cincinnati close them out? Nope. They cannot. And we are going to game 6 in both series. That should be travel day for the National League. So we are in Cleveland. Pedro Estacio against Paul Bird. Neither pitcher looking really good in this series so far in these playoffs. And Cleveland has tied it up. So we are going to see a 7th game, and I will try and get the highlights there. Hopefully that shows. So game 7 will pit Daryl Kyle against Jared Washburn. Meanwhile, in Florida, we get John Burkett against Aaron Seeley. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to hide this. We're going to go to scores. We're going to hide the scores, and we're going to see if we're going to quick play that game. And then we're going to see if we can get some highlights out of this. I think we can. Yep. So we're going to get to see highlights of Toronto and Cleveland. If you did not watch the last video, which I don't blame you because these videos are long, you can get highlights of these games and live look-ins, and that's what we're going to do here. So the game cuts bottom third, 0-0. Cleveland up at the plate. Daryl Kyle pitching to Ramon Santiago with 1 out and a 1-0 count. They're going to go through the whole spiel here. Kyle pitches. He hits it. Santiago hits it deep. It's high. It's far. It's gone. That's a long one. 389 feet. The crowd's going nuts. Cleveland's up 1-0 on the homer from Ramon Santiago. We now go top 4. Washburn on the mound, pitching to Garrett Anderson. Jim Edmonds on first base. 1-1 count, nobody out. Let's see it. Washburn delivers to Anderson, who hits it out to left field. That's in the that's caught. No, it dropped. I'm sorry, it dropped. It's hard for me to see this at sometimes. Cliff Floyd gets it off the wall. Edmonds gets the third. Anderson in with a double. And Toronto's got something cooking here in the top of the fourth. Here at the Jake. Washburn now dealing to Rich Aurelia. 0-1 count, nobody out. The infield is in for Cleveland. Washburn kicks and fires. Hits it out. Aurelia hits it out to center field. It's playable. It's caught, and the throw home, he's tagging. Here he comes. Anderson, nope, that's Edmonds. He slides around the tag. He is safe. Tying the game at 1. Anderson moves up to third. We have 1 down, the go-ahead run on third base. And Jose Valentin coming to the plate. Infield still in for Cleveland. It's a full count to Valentin. Wondering if Washburn's going to give him anything to hit here. Washburn comes set. He fires and strikes him out looking on the corner. That was a fastball at 92 miles an hour. Huge out for Washburn. And that actually does end the threat as we jump ahead now to the 5th inning. Top 5, 3-0 count. Edgar Martinez at the plate. Raul Calsanova on first base for Toronto. Let's take a look. Washburn comes set. He fires and he walks Edgar Martinez on 4 pitches. And you got to wonder if Cleveland's going to get somebody up in the pen. That's going to bring up Kevin Young. 2 on, full count, 1 out now. Washburn comes set. He fires and he walks Young. Bases are loaded with 1 out here, top 5 for Jim Edmonds. It's a 2-2 count. Washburn throws to Edmonds and he gets him looking on a changeup. Came at 67 miles an hour. I'm sorry, it was a curveball. Changeup should be CH. 67 miles an hour. Unbelievable. Does Washburn have another one in him to get out of a huge jam? He's got 1-2 on Garrett Anderson, another lefty on lefty crime here. Washburn comes set. He fires. Anderson swings and misses. Strike 3, and Washburn puts the fire out, leaving him full in the 5th. It's still 1-1. Now we go bottom 6. Nobody out. 2-1. Daryl Ichiro on first. Doug Glanville at the plate. Facing a 2-1 count from Daryl Kyle. Kyle comes set. He fires. Glanville bunts it. Kyle makes the play, but he's only got the play at first. So he gets Glanville for the first out. Ichiro moves up to second, and that's going to bring up Cliff Floyd. Kyle comes set. It's 0-1. The Floyd hits it out to right field. That ball's going to drop. Hollinsworth dropped it in right field. And Ichiro comes around the score. That ball hit the tip of the glove. Floyd gets the second. It's 2-1 Cleveland here in the 6th inning. And we go to Mark Bellhorn. 1-1 count to him, still 1 out, bottom 6, 2-1 Cleveland. Kyle gets a sign, becomes set, fires. Bellhorn hits it out to right field. That's deep. Is it playable? It is not playable. Bellhorn goes yard. 4-1 Cleveland, and they're going nuts here. Holy cow. That was just over 366. We're going to flash forward now. Top 7. 1 out. Edgar Martinez on second base. Kevin Young at the plate. 0-1 count. Washburn still on the mound. Washburn looks at Martinez and hits it or pitches it. Young with the hit up the middle. Martinez not fleet of foot. He's not going to try and score, but it's going to bring the tying run up to the plate in the form of Jim Edmonds. He struck out with the bases loaded back in the 5th. He's got another big chance here. And he's facing a 3-0 count from Washburn. Will he get the green light? Nope. It's inside. That's ball 4. And Washburn apparently likes danger. He's got him loaded here in the 7th. In fact, he's going to be lifted for Matt Hergis, a righty, which is interesting because Garrett Anderson is a lefty. And in fact, 3 of the next 4 hitters are lefties. Surprised they didn't go with a lefty. So here's Hergis facing Anderson. No count. So it's going to be the first pitch thrown. Hergis comes set, fires. Anderson hits it over to third. Play is made at home. Martinez is out. Petrick has no chance at first, so the bases are still loaded, but that's another huge out for Cleveland, who can now play the defense back as John Mabry is going to come up as a pinch hitter. And he's going to be facing an 0-1 count, 2 outs, top 7 of a 4-1 game. Mabry hits it out to the gap in left center. That ball hits the wall. 1 run scores. 2 runs are going to score. Here comes a 3rd run. Garrett Anderson scores. John Mabry ties the game in the 7th with a double. And the crowd is restless now. Not really sure what to make of this. Oh my goodness. Here comes Valentine. It's a 1-2 count. Hergis has given it all back. And it's a pass ball. No, it's way outside. That's going to be a wild pitch. Mabry moves up to 3rd. And now it's 2-2 on Valentine. Go ahead run 90 feet away. Hergis comes set. He fires. Swing and a miss. He got Valentine. So Hergis, who gave up the tying run, comes back huge. But we do have a tie game as we go to the stretch. Now we've got Ramon Santiago in first, Petrick at the plate, 1-2 count, 1 out. Jay Powell on the mound. Powell sets, fires, Petrick hits it, shallow center field. That's playable and caught by Edmonds. It's going to be 2 down now. As here comes Ichiro. Santiago still on first. Powell comes set, the pitch to Ichiro. Ichiro hits a weak one, the pitcher. But that is going to be an infield single. Powell really didn't have much of a play. It was a long run. And that's going to put 2 on with 2 out for Doug Glanville. Glanville bunted Ichiro over back in the 6th when Cleveland took the lead. He's going to be facing the first pitch from Powell. Powell comes set. Glanville hits it out to the outfield. Edmonds, it falls in. It falls in. He throws it home, and Santiago scores on the play. Glanville with a RBI single. Ichiro's at second. It's 5-4 Cleveland. They have answered here in the bottom of the 7th. We're going to jump now. Top 8, Todd Hollingsworth at the plate. Mariano Rivera is in the 8th inning, and he's got a full count to Hollingsworth. Let's take a look. Rivera gets his sign, winds and delivers, and he struck him out on a, what was that, a sinker? Yeah, it was a sinker. Painted the outside corner at 90. Oh my gosh. Here's Dave Berg. He'll be facing a 2-1 count with 2 outs, top 8. Berg hits it over to shortstop. Play is made by Santiago. He fires a first. Toronto's down in the 8th and down the 3 outs. Cleveland comes to bat in the 8th. They're up 5-4. Well, apparently they didn't do anything in the 9th or in the 8th because we're going top 9. Edgar Martinez at the plate. It's the last chance for Toronto. They got 3 outs. First pitch from Rivera to Martinez. Martinez hits it out to left field. It is playable and caught by Cliff Floyd. 1 pitch, 1 out here for Toronto in the 9th. That's going to bring up Kevin Young. 1-2 to him with 1 out. Rivera sets pitches. Young hits it over to short. Santiago easy with it. Throws to first. Cleveland with their second out. Toronto down to their last chance. And it's going to come in the form of Jim Edmonds. It's going to be facing a 2-2 from Rivera. Rivera lines and delivers. And Edmonds strikes out looking on a fastball. Cleveland wins the pennant. They're off to the World Series for the first time since 1997. Congratulations to the Cleveland Indians. Holy cow, what a game. What a game. And now we get to see if Cincinnati can join them in an all Ohio World Series. I'm not going to hide the scores for this. We'll quick play it. Nope. Oh, wow. This has been a great game to watch. Florida scores 3 in the 12th to win 6-5. Wow. It's pretty amazing. Manti got the loss there. So we're going game 7. We're going game 7, and we are going to hide the scores. Hide those scores. Because I got to finish today. Okay. There we go. Quick play, and let's get the highlights, shall we? So who's going to join Rich in the World Series? Is it going to be Kevin, or is it going to be RJ? We're going to go top 1. Scott Rowland on first. Steve Perez on the mound. 1 out. Sean Green at the plate. 2-2 count. And Michael Tucker on third. Green hits it out through the middle. That's going to fall through the cracks into the outfield. And Sean Green gets Cincinnati on the board here in Miami. Key error by the Marlins may have extended the inning. Now we're bottom 2. It's 1-0. We got Craig Counsell on first. Ryan Drees on the mound. Todd Hundley at the plate. 3-2 to him, and he walks him. 2 on with 1 out. That's going to bring up Perez. Got to imagine it's a bunt situation. It's a 1-1 count. Perez does bunt, but he pops it up. And it's caught by McEwing. I wonder if that probably would have been an infield fly even regardless. And now we skip top 3. 2 on. Rowland on second. Tucker on first. 1 out. Harrison a jam. Infield's in, and here's Green. 2-2 count. Harris deals. Green hits it out to left field. That's going to fall and go all the way to the wall. 2 runs are going to score on this as Green has an easy double. And it's 3-0, and Sean Green is putting the Reds on his back here. He's got 3 RBIs. The Reds have 3 runs. And we go now to the next batter. We're gonna skip ahead a batter, actually. Delvey Cruz got on first. Green moved to the third, and here's Toby Hall, and it's a 1-1 count. Perez delivers. Hall hits it out and deep to right field. That ball, he leaps. It's gone. Salmon couldn't pull it down. Toby Hall with his second home run of the postseason. It is 6-0 Cincinnati. And the Florida, do you want to call them faithful? I don't know. I don't know about that, but they are grimacing. This isn't over. Michael Tucker back up at the plate. 2 on. We're still in the top of the third. McEwing and Wilton Guerrero in scoring position. First pitch, Andy Bennis is in. Bennis winds. Tucker hits it out to center field. That's going to fall. That falls. 2 runs are going to score here. Tucker with a 2-run single. It is 8-0. Holy cow. Now we're going to skip it. It's 10-1. We have had some off-camera runs. Hundley at the plate, bottom 4. Russell Branyan on first. Drees still pitching. Hundley hits it out to right center field. That's deep. I don't think that's playable. It's gone. Todd Hundley. It's a 2-run job. Makes it 10-3. Cincinnati still comfortably in front. We're going to go all the way now to bottom 7. It's 10-4. We've had another off-camera run. 2 outs. Jason Phillips on the mound. Russell Branyan at the plate. 2-0 count. I have a feeling what's coming. Phillips winds and delivers to Branyan, who hits it. That ball is crushed. Oh my God, that ball is crushed. Branyan hit that 398 feet. It is 10-5. Still in favor of Cincinnati. And here comes Todd Hundley, and it's 1-2 to him with 2 outs still here in the bottom of the 7th. Phillips winds, comes to the plate. Hundley hits it out to right field. Is that playable? Nope. That ball is out of here. Hundley with is that his second home run of this game? I believe it is. I don't remember. But it's 10-6. Florida will not go away. Back-to-back jacks here in the 7th. Well, we're going to skip ahead now. Bottom 9. 2-2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Chris Hammond on the mound. Todd Hundley at the plate. Hundley hitting righty against the lefty Hammond. Florida down their last out. Maybe their last pitch. Here we go. Hammond winds and delivers. And he struck him out on a slider, backdoor slider. Hundley over anxious. And the Reds make it an all Ohio affair in the World Series here in 2002. They win it 10-6. And we go to Ohio for the World Series. Wow. All right. We're going to get back to playing these day by day here. And we'll see if there's a game 7. So let's see what happens here. So Reds stay hot. They're 8-3 in the postseason. They stay hot, win 8-2. Kerry Wood over Roy Halladay. Finish the day. Getting that win in Cleveland is huge too. And now they have Chris Benson on the mound, who's been pitching pretty well against Paul Bird. And it's 8-1. Like Benson mowed him down in this one. 6 1/3, 3 hits, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. Didn't give up a thing. Meanwhile, Michael Tucker homered. Yeah, was kind of a late inning affair. David Segui homered in the 2nd. Scott Rowland homered in the 3rd. Toby Hall hit his 3rd homer coming in the 7th inning. Nothing got going for Cleveland. They got to get something going now. Otherwise, their season is going to end, and Cincinnati will be our World Series champion. We're going to Cincinnati for 3 games. So let's see. Can they go up 3-0? Nope. What is going on here? Cleveland wins 8-1. Jared Washburn, who's been lights out in these playoffs, gets a win. Okay. So we've had 3 away shellackings so far. Can they even the series up? No, they cannot. They cannot. Cleveland plates a run, a walk-off in the 9th on a solo home run by Delvey Cruz off Mariano Rivera. Wow. Cincinnati's 1 game away, 1 win away from winning the World Series. And Delvey Cruz was the hero. I'm not going to do the highlights. We're going to play the game. I'll only do it if it goes 7. And it could. It could. Cleveland saved their season. 3-1 in 13 innings. What did it there? What got the runs there? Top 13 back-to-back home runs. Doug Glanville, Cliff Floyd. All right. So we're going back to Cleveland. Travel day. All right. Can Cincinnati, who's 2-0 on the road in this World Series, 6-2 in the playoffs, can they close them out, or are we going 7? They close them out. We do not get the 7. We're not going to get the 7. They win 5-3. They put up 3 in the 8th. They put up 3 in the 8th. Came on a home run from, oh no, it was Matt Williams. Matt Williams. Really? I guess he's 36. Okay. Top 8. Scott Rowland with a single. Sean Green with a homer. Am I missing something here? Oh, reach on air, Marlon Harrison. So it was a 3-run homer again off Mariano Rivera. How did he pitch in these playoffs? Because I don't think he pitched that way. He lost games 5 and 6 of the World Series. He's tagged with those losses. In the world, over the course of the season, he pitched fairly well, though not exactly like Rivera-like, you know. Postseason, he was 2-2 with 4 saves, a 3.00 ERA, a .80 WHIP, but Cincinnati destroyed him. Just destroyed him. If we look at, we can't get that, can we? Oh, versus Cincinnati. Postseason, I mean, they really didn't hit him all that well, but the last 2 games, he just fell apart. Unbelievable. Congratulations, Cincinnati. I believe. Who is that? Is that RJ? No, it's Kevin Free. Kevin Free's getting a Topps Chrome Blaster. So is Rich. So congratulations to you two. Now we need to go ahead and we need to sim for the league awards and get those out of the way. And then we'll find out who's getting the other 2 blasters. So we just need to go there. And we'll see what happens. This game, Out of the Park, is going to be going on sale sometime soon. It always does it for the playoffs. I don't think it'll do it for the stretch run, but always does it for the playoffs. And it's an amazing game. I do have to kind of hype it up a little bit. It's really a fantastic game. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, that's all I have to say. It's going to go on sale. That I know. Probably like 25% or something. All right, let's see. Brian Giles wins the MVP ahead of Lance Berkman, Andrew Jones. So Andrew Jones, talked about him at the outset of this sim, you know, that worried about, or the interesting storyline, I should say, of his sliding off as a hitter coinciding in like 2002, 2003 with going to Colorado. And I mean, it showed right there. But Brian Giles picking up the MVP, hitting 358, with 37 homers, 132 RBIs. Just click on that. Again, he had 142 walks and 70 strikeouts, 1.188 OPS, 11.7 WAR, well-deserving for Mr. Giles. In the American League, I don't think there's any doubt on who this is. It's Barry Bonds. He didn't get to 60, but he hit 59 homers. He had 59 homers, 367, 59 jacks, 133 RBIs, 182 walks, which is a league record, or would be in this scenario. Only 47 strikeouts. Only 47 strikeouts. He only had 482 like official at bats, and he hit 93 extra base hits. 14.3 WAR. 14.3 WAR. One of the greatest seasons in Major League history. He was a unanimous winner of the award. Alfonso Soriano finished second, Mike Sweeney third. Jeff Weaver wins the NL Cy Young, which I think was expected. He was unanimous. So he goes 22-7, 2.55 ERA, 22 or 225 hits and 247 innings, 1.08 WHIP. Because the dude doesn't walk people. In the American League, again, this isn't real. The surprise, I guess, is that Pedro didn't win it unanimously. That would be the surprise to me, because I don't know. I mean, Matt Clement, maybe he went 21-6. Okay, I can jive with that. He has 258 strikeouts and 247 innings. I can jive with that. But Pedro, 277 strikeouts in 249 innings, led the league in ERA, went 19-9, led the league in WHIP at 0.98, led the league in home runs per 9 innings, give up 11 all year, led the league in WAR, 10.8. I mean, my gosh, that's just filthy. Managers of the year, Charlie Manuel, and who else? Bob Boone. Rookies of the year, Kevin Mensch. Oh, it's the first time I even said his name tonight. Kevin Mensch, who, I mean, it's a kind of a pedestrian year, but okay. 248, 19, 66. Just, ahead of Ramon Santiago and Kirk Saarloos. In American League, it was Eric Hinsky ahead of Austin Kearns, which Hinsky hit 287, 20 homers, 81 RBIs, 6.1 WAR. Yeah, I can see that. It's odd to see Hinsky have speed and to be able to steal bases. He stole 9. Kearns, also Kearns stealing bases, 293, 19 and 67 with 12 steals. He had a WAR of 6.0. I mean, that's a pretty good race across the board. So let's go ahead. We're going to randomize the sheet. I'm not sharing at the minute, though. What I can do, I can move it to sharing the desktop, because I gotta randomize these things. I don't want to do that. Remember, these randomizations, Kevin and Rich are not eligible to win in this, because this is a spread the wealth game. Some other people are going to be getting the Allen and Ginter and the Gypsy Queen blasters. So we're going to go ahead and go to random.org. We are randoming this 12 times. And top 2 are assuming they're not Cleveland or Cincinnati, they will be getting blasters. Here we go. 1. I got to do this. Just that, have to scroll down every time. But that's, first world problem. Six times we're halfway through. I did not put in for pitchers of the month yet. It's still players of the month. I have not put in for pitchers of the month. I meant to do it, and I didn't, because I forgot. So I gotta remember again. I'll do it. Actually, I'll do it right as soon as I'm done with this. So here comes number 12. We're looking at the rookie of the month in the National League for September, and the AL player of the month for April, though I have a feeling I know who that is. So it might be the AL rookie of the month for September. So I'm going to copy those 3. And there we go. We'll go back to game 3. Put that in, And let's see. NL Rookie of the Month for September and AL Player of the Month for April. So September AL Rookie of the Month, or NL Rookie of the Month, I should say, was Eric Kinski for San Diego. San Diego. Who has San Diego? Padres. Jeff Wilmer. Jeff, you're getting either a Allen Ginter Blaster or a Gypsy Queen. We'll randomize it. And so AL Player of the Month for April. AL Player of the Month for April. Oh, it's not. All right. It's Brad Fulmer. Brad Fulmer of the Texas Rangers. It's Nick Johnson. Nick Johnson is getting either an Allen Ginter or a Gypsy Queen. We'll randomize it. We'll just do that right now. We could do that right now. So Jeff will be on top. Nick would be second for this randomizing. So we'll put in alphabetical order Allen and Ginter and Gypsy Queen. And let's go 12 times. Go much faster this time. Don't scroll down so much, you know. And by so much, I mean at all. So Jeff's on top, Nick's on the bottom. All right, here we go. Number 12. Jeff, you're getting a Gypsy Queen. Nick, you're getting Allen Ginter, which is funny because we had that conversation where you got pulled back in by Allen Ginter, so you're getting a blaster. And we'll open those. We'll do that after the jumbo break. We'll do the jumbo break first, and then we'll do the prize breaks. So that people don't want to stay for the prize breaks, don't have to stick around. All right. I will post this video as soon as I get it, which will probably be in like half an hour, the way Zoom works sometimes. But it will go up on YouTube immediately. I'll try and splice it. I'll probably have to splice in the morning to have like just the playoffs and just the randomizing of this stuff. But I'll announce the winners, and congratulations to all those who got prizes. Tomorrow night, 7:00 Eastern time, we will go live with the break, with the jumbo and then the blasters. And yeah, looking forward to it. This is gonna be really cool. So thank you to everybody for watching this, and really to Mikhail and Mark for being here. Mark's been here the whole time. Mikhail has got here pretty early in the process. They have to both be asleep at this point, like just passed out. But it's always just a lot of fun for me. I love it. And I'll be grabbing some screenshots and putting them up while I try and wait for the video. All right, so that's it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. All right, take care.